Hello, everybody, and welcome to the show. This is Comics Books News for the 14th of September. Oh, time is certainly flying. We're going to be coming into 2021, which should be a good thing. God, we really want 2020 to go away. I really think we do. Everyone who probably agrees. But welcome and happy to have you guys here. We're going to be getting into some comic book news today, of course. We were having a conversation offline, though, before we come in here about how I have pink thumbs and boosters have black necrotic from thumbs, which is a pretty sad
Mhm.
thing, really. It's really sad.
It's terrible.
Yeah,
It's the diabetes. It's
it
just chewing
is.
them away.
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
just you put your thumb up too many butts, it happens.
It
It's
does.
just it just happens.
Although I
Yeah.
have to say it's a little bit sad. You're not even 30 yet, and you already have the diabetes. That's not good.
Yeah. That's what happens when you just eat just sugar,
All day,
just sugar in
every day.
spoonfuls
Yeah, yeah. It'll
for
get you.
breakfast.
Yeah.
It's what I do. I
Just a
just
spoonful
snort it.
of sugar.
Oh
Makes the
God.
medicine go down and
Wow.
gives you diabetes.
That's
Gets you
perfect. That's
diabetes.
perfect. So you actually seen Mary Poppins? Oh, that's interesting. But
Mhm.
yeah, no. Well, people kind of do that every day, though, Booster, with the soda.
The sound of it is something quite atrocious. Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. Yeah, I've seen Mary Poppins.
Oh, that's good. So do you drink
Uh,
soda like all day long?
Oh, I do. I do drink way too much soda. That shit is addictive. That should be outlawed. Honestly, it's bad. That shit's poison.
Yeah, I think it's one of the biggest problems with Americans have as far as the with things like diabetes. The B type.
It's
Uh,
basically just pouring, sugar down your throat. That's
Yeah,
what it
no,
is.
it's sad because I understand it's tasty. My wife and I enjoy it, but what we'll do, how we manage it, Booster, is we will where am I going? Here I am. What we'll do is we'll have it as a kind of like a dessert thing, like every now and then, a
mhm.
couple times a month, and we'll just get and we'll share. We'll have like a
Yeah.
glass of it. So, because my wife and I do enjoy it, but we really only drink it like once or twice a month. So.
Yeah, I don't drink it at all anymore.
So the
Except
audience
for,
knows I don't actually have diabetes.
yeah, I don't
Oh,
drink it at all anymore. Except for like if somebody does like homemade root beer, I'll have some of that. And I do like sangria, which is like a Mexican kind of grape flavored. It means blood. But I like that stuff too. But
yeah,
again, I don't drink it a lot.
isn't that like a liquor?
No, actually, that is an actual soda that they make. Yeah, but there is a sangria that has, like it's a type of liquor. But if you're talking to like Mexican sangria, it's actually just soda.
Well, there you go. Let's see here. We got Cult Film Video in here. Got Roger Heller. Very happy to have you. Dave. Hi, Dave. How you doing? Comic Book Bob. How you doing, Bob? He says, "What the f is this? The Wilford Brimley show?" Yes, it is. Yes,
Yes, it is.
it is.
Yes,
Yes,
we're
it is.
discussing the diabetes.
The diabetes. Anyway,
It's not true that I have diabetes, but it is true that I need to lay off the soda. That is 100% factual.
well, yeah, you're not going
But
to have trouble with that until you get up like a 40 or 50 if you don't knock it off.
exactly,
Yeah, yeah.
exactly.
Wilford Brimley's a grumpy bastard. I met him.
He's also
Yeah.
dead.
Is
Yeah,
he?
he's dead, but he's
He's
to live here.
preserved. He's pickled.
No, he died.
No,
But
he died like a couple of weeks ago.
yeah, he just lived north of me.
Oh,
Yeah.
In a town called Lehigh. And
damn.
he was a very grumpy guy.
Well, that's
Well,
I don't need to
you don't
know
ha-
that.
You don't have a mustache like that without being grumpy.
That's fair.
You can just tell on his face he's a grumpy
fair.
old man.
Yeah. Well, as you guys can tell, we got the Boosted Kiwi in here. We got Slick Jimmy, but we also have the Asian lightning god with us. He's turned Asian. He's turned to Japanese. And his new name is we'll call him Kaminari-chan.
I thought it was Thunderoo.
Okay, well that sounds like pajamas, but that's all right.
Thunderoo underoos.
That's right. But Kaminari is how they say lightning, thunder and lightning here. They actually have an interesting little proverb here in Japan.
Raiden-san.
Well, that's actually the name of God. They actually have a nice little proverb here, Thundero.
It's a Mortal Kombat character, you idiot.
Jesus. The proverb goes, if a certain key would shut up, it goes like this: children should fear thunder, lightning, and father.
So
right.
I just looked up the Japanese lightning god. His name's Raijin.
Lightning.
Raijin-san.
So yeah, that would be Thundera. Raijin.
Well, he actually kind of looks like an ugly demon guy, but you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe that works too.
It's not that way,
You do.
Takahara.
Well, he does look like Howard Cosell since he was 2. So, you know,
Yeah.
Mhm.
it's unfortunate. But his wife loves
It's
him.
a shame.
It's because I bring the thunder.
Can you guys do
Ooh.
it? Cosell?
Ooh, very nice, very nice. Dave says Wilford Brimley was in Remo Williams. Now,
Yeah, he was. Played
I haven't
Smith.
thought of that movie in forever, dude. That was a great fun movie. Talk about a little one-off.
That's one of
Sounds
my
like a
favorite book series ever. And,
You never seen
they've never
Remo
done it
Williams?
right. You've
Dude,
never seen Remo yet?
I
You
hope
need to go see
to
that.
God they don't remake
The
that.
Destroyer.
The bastards. It was
Well, no,
perfectly
they should-
awkward movie, man. It was perfect.
What they should do is they should do a TV series called The Destroyer, which would be the real book series.
Sure, yeah. But that's a great little quirky movie. If you haven't seen Remo Williams, go check it out. It's so awkward, it's perfect, right? I loved it.
It is weird.
yeah,
You know,
it
Fred
is.
Ward played Remo.
Did it really?
And the weird thing is I believe that the guy who played Chiang, which was the little Asian guy, was actually a white dude, which is a big.
Oh, we should report it to the SJWs immediately. Immediately.
Mhm.
Anyway, we got
Right
a
to
lot
the
of
police.
news to get into, so let me go ahead and get into that real quickly because we got a lot to cover today. I didn't know there was so much going on in comic books, dude, but there is. There really
Oh,
is.
what's
And we're
that
going to
stuff?
start
What
out
do we
with
got?
we're going to start with something very special, very special.
Oh.
It's one of those things that
What?
that's necessary and needed to happen. Needed to happen, I say, Booster.
What?
Go ahead.
Colin Kaepernick returns to the NFL as playable quarterback in EA's Madden 21. That's special.
Now,
Look at how realistic it looks.
yeah. Well, first of all, Madden 21 is under incredible amounts of fire already because EA's lazy ass corporate, attitude, right? They basically just copy and paste year after year, and instead of it being a DLC for the new team member rosters, you're basically paying full price for a copied game, and they're getting lazy about it, right? And the Madden group are kind of just done with them. But then again, EA is pissing everyone off every opportunity they get. So I don't know what to tell you about that. But this right here is just another layer of people to be pissed off because we saw the MLB, the baseball guys and the basketball guys that went super woke, right? And they're losing money like crazy. People are not watching. They're being boycotted in huge numbers. I saw this report that said upwards of, or actually it was like the upwards of 92% of Americans are sick of it and they don't want to see any of this crap in their sports. That's a high percentage, dude. That's a high
I don't
percentage.
give a shit about it anyway. I'd rather
Yeah.
watch hockey.
Yeah, but see, the hockey guys look like they're getting a little woke too. But
Well, then
not
I
as
won't watch them either.
yeah, but no one is as woke as the NFL. Roger Goodell has seen to
Yeah.
that. And
I don't
he's-
care about the NFL anymore.
well, yeah, I haven't watched it in a couple of years because of the nonsense that's going on. But it's like this is dumb because let's talk a little bit about Kaepernick. He had a season where he was okay-ish, a little above. I don't know. Was he a little bit above average, and then he fell off. He's not a great quarterback, not a super great quarterback. He's good enough to be in the NFL at that time, but he also clearly doesn't want to play. He don't want to play. They gave him an opportunity, a year or so ago, to come out to a camp and get picked up again, and he made up excuses not to show up. He's all about his politics. The problem thing that happened to him, his girlfriend. That's what happened. He started dating an activist. And she ruined him.
Yeah.
Yeah, the pussy was
always
too
gets
good,
ya.
man. That pussy was too good. It just sucked him in.
Mhm,
Sucked him in, Booster.
Yes.
Yeah. That's exactly what it sounds like
Just
too. Yeah.
vacuum vag.
Yes. Queefs and all. But I don't know what to say. The Thundera, help us out with this, man.
There's not really much else to say, to be honest. He's a subpar quarterback who only started making us think about politics when he started to suck, and he was using it as a means to keep publicity so he wouldn't get fired. And eventually, it backfired on him.
Yeah.
And while he's supposed to be some great social justice crusader, he was working with Nike the entire time. One of the biggest violators of civil rights in the world is the Nike Corporation, has
That's
been for
true.
decades.
That's true. Yeah.
But I don't see any of them have any. They don't have any trouble with that. They don't have any trouble with China. Only
China.
America is a problem.
Yeah. And you
China.
guys,
That's a different culture. Who are we to judge China for their horrific crimes against humanity?
We're better than them. That's who we are.
yeah, that's right.
Oh yeah.
And you guys might be asking, Chester, what does this have to do with comic books? Nothing. Yeah.
Brilliant.
We just burst that bubble real quick.
Yeah, I could. Sorry, dude. I just couldn't resist it. It's like, no, come on. And you know,
the
here,
bait was too delicious.
Do you
Booster.
guys love the uncanny valley here that's going on in this picture?
Well, they're getting closer now. I don't knock the computer guys for that. They're getting closer. But Booster, I don't know if you got two mics on or you got something. You're echoing all of us. So
My bad. Let me fix that real quick.
something's going on with that. But here's the question I have: Who do we have any sports guys in here? Because I'm a big football fan. Anybody
I
raise
was.
your hand? Okay, you were. Okay. Well, let me ask a question to you guys. Now, we know that Kaepernick had a pretty good season, right? And then he got benched. And he was sitting on the bench when all this stuff happened. Now, he was good enough to make the NFL. He did have a good year. He's not the greatest quarterback of all time, but I don't think he's the worst one either. Here's the thing, though. Did he get benched because he was dating this girl and she started messing with his head and he just wasn't really pushing his hungry? Or was he just not really what they thought he was?
Well, I've seen, experts, quote unquote, say that, being an NFL quarterback, once you've made it there, if you have the skill set to get past all of the filters, they're pretty well equal as far as their basic fundamental skills. What it is it's
Yeah.
mental.
Yeah.
The big hurdle is how they think, how smart they are, really, how they can adapt and move, and because the game's really fast. Like, people don't, you watch on TV and it looks, from that perspective, it doesn't look as fast, but when you're in that pocket, it's going like lightning. Like, these guys are so fast and they're so big. And
if you ever want to see the difference, you just watch like a high school film, like something, and then you watch and look at the difference. It's a different league, I would be terrified somebody coming at me that speed.
And that big, that giant,
and that big.
Yeah, they are big, dude.
There are guys there that can move, do like a mid 40, and they're like 300 pounds. It's just like crazy.
Yeah, no. There's I'm small. I'm on the small side for NFL, right? And I'm bigger than most every human I run into. But I remember, because I used to play football. I was pretty good middle linebacker on the rush. Other than that, I was just a little too slow. And let me explain what a little too slow is. My 100-meter is 11.23. That's not that bad. That's not that bad at all. But I was slow.
Yeah.
Yeah. So not everyone on the team is hitting that 10-second mark. Certainly not. But there's a lot of them right around it. A lot of them. Of course, I was a middle linebacker. If I had changed over to the lineman and bulked up a little bit, I probably would have been all right. But whatever.
Well, like, a great example is Tom Brady, right? He's some would say he's the greatest quarterback of all time. Whatever. He's definitely in that conversation, no question.
Oh, sure.
But he's not more athletic than Kaepernick is. I guarantee he's not. But he's still a way better quarterback because his head is in the game. He's got a mind for it like nobody else.
And
because he has a really great team, that helps. But
yeah.
But regardless, like, you can that's where the game is for quarterbacks, especially nowadays, because it's just so fast. You have to be able to and nothing ever goes to plan. Like it just doesn't. These guys are too good. The defenses are too smart, and they pick you up and pick you apart real quick. So in order to be a top level quarterback consistently, you have to have your head right. And if some chick is messing with your head, that's going to do it. That's going to take you right out of your game. Mechanically, Kaepernick is perfectly fine. There's no reason he couldn't be and shouldn't have been a decent quarterback. But his head clearly wasn't in it anymore. And he, like you said, he doesn't want to play. They offered him a chance to come and try out himself. It was a whole bunch of teams were going to show up, see what he's got still, see if they can put him on the team, and he just didn't show up. So what are you supposed to do with that?
He doesn't want to play. And I think the same thing. I really think it comes down to that girl screwing his head up. Because, I've seen him play in his good time, and then I saw him decline, and I was like, why? He didn't have a major injury or anything. He just really declined, and it had to be mental. Nick says, I used to play football, Chester 2020. I did, dude. I played football since I was a little kid. I love football. That's a lot of fun. I just wasn't.
It's ridiculously fun when you play it.
It is a lot of fun. Yeah, I just wasn't fast enough to try to go on to college, let alone even think about this conversation. Because if I get a hold of you, you're in trouble, right? I mean, that's where I got the nickname Bugbear, is because I get up in the middle, pushing. I was a middle linebacker, pushing the rush, and even if they try to push me out, I had two guys on me. If I get two fingers on you, you ain't getting out. Right, so I was a bugbear in the middle.
The football guys gave you a D&D nickname.
Yeah, well, it was popular back then, dude. D&D was the shit, man. Yeah, but yeah, no, but it's also
the story.
No. I don't think it had anything to do with D&D actually. A bugbear is something that is contentious and troublesome, right?
Yeah, it adds an alter.
Yeah, and it was the coach that said it the first time anyway. A bugbear in the middle, but I mean,
the coach was a fucking nerd.
No, dude, it's a Britishism. Shut up, Booster.
Well, most
You're
coaches
a British
are nerds
person.
if you actually talk
Booster,
to them.
you do have Google, right?
Idiot. God. At least he isn't echoing anymore. Anyway, there's a couple of things here in chat I wanted to check before I moved on.
It's bugbear outside of D&D. Don't you fucking lie to me.
All right. Sack the QB, yes. Now, Dave says the Grand Sumo Tournament in Japan is live right now, just saying. And those guys will cut a bitch before they went woke. I'm telling you. That's definitely true. I haven't watched sports since my balls dropped and I started chasing poon. I thought he said porn. So either way. I actually stopped watching football after they outlawed the cutthroat hand gesture. That was like 2000. Yeah, Godell, there it is. He's been in charge for a long time, and that dude he's at SJW, I think, dude.
He's just a pussy. That's what he is. He always has been. And nobody's ever really liked him. The only reason the owners like him is because they can push him around. It's the only reason he stays where he is.
You think?
I know. I know for a fact. I know NFL players who have told me that. Who have just said that's why they like. The owners will tell you that's why they like him. They can push him around.
And Dave says, did Chester get 4 touchdowns in a single game? Whoa, Bundy. Very good show. Married with Children. Nah, dude, I never got a touchdown in my life.
Best thing I ever did playing football when I was in junior high. I blocked.
You never got a touchdown?
No.
Oh, dude, I picked off one. I got a touchdown and I got a fumble and we had it in like a couple yards. And then we had this like washer and dryer thing that we did. Like the fridge, because it was the same era. And I was the dryer. And so this kid named Jason Bolt would run in front of me, and I would run behind him, and I scored a 3rd touchdown.
Oh, that's nice.
It was a lot of fun.
No, I never did.
I mean, it wasn't like anything. We didn't win any state champions or anything. Sure had a lot of fun.
Yeah, actually, I was one of the football teams I was on was a really good one, but no, I never did. I was always up in the middle of things and just trying to cut through the gap, right? No, never. I got a few fumbles, but I never got a touchdown. Oh well. I'm a defensive player, right? Anyway, what was I talking about? Oh yeah. But the thing with the Patriots, Thundera was just saying. I grew up in Rhode Island, of course, and even when I moved, I was so much time in Rhode Island that was what I identified with. So I was a New England Patriot fan since I was a baby, right? I even had the jacket I used to wear all the time, and we had nothing. We had nothing for years and years. And then in what, 84, 85, I think 85, we made it to the Super Bowl, and that legendary Bears
And
team ate us
and the
alive, dude.
Bears beat the shit out.
Oh my God, they even had a song. They even had their own
Yeah,
song.
the Super Bowl Shuffle. The Super Bowl Shuffle, baby.
It was sad. And then all of a sudden we had this Belichick guy come in, and he had this new quarterback Brady, and we started winning. And it was so much fun. And then all of a sudden we're the most hated team in American sports. It's like, you bastards, you bastards. Can you feel my pain, Thundero?
I think you guys.
No, because I'm a Steelers fan, so no, I don't feel your pain at all.
Yeah. I think Chester has an inferiority complex because he came from the smallest Commonwealth.
We did, I did, but I'm just saying, man. So long we were wanted to win, and we stick behind our team, and then we started becoming this really really good team. Adrian said, "Who gives an F?" Oh, I'm sorry, we're talking sports there, nerd. Okay, sorry, nerd. All right, then, but I'll move on. For you, I'll move on though, because it is time now. This right here, Booster, go ahead. Into the comic books. Yeah.
New Marvel Legend toy leaks reveal first look at Salma Hayek's Ajax in the Eternals.
Okay,
There we
now
go.
Eternals.
It's another quote-unquote toy leak. These are usually bullshit.
Now this is a gender swap, just so you guys know. But it is Salma Hayek. All work, I'm crossing myself, and let's, all praise the Salma. But the thing is like, she's getting kind of old. Is she still sexy? Is she still sexy? Let's check it out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yes, the answer is
Dude.
yes.
Yeah.
She
The
still
answer
has
is yes.
big boobies.
Have you seen her daughter now too? She passed out.
She's got
Genes.
2
Wow.
Golden Globes.
Yes, she does, and I'm not going to talk about Salma Hayek's daughter, dude. That's not right. Adrian's in a mood. Adrian's in a mood over here in the chat, Booster. I don't know what someone put some piss in his Cheerios or something. I don't know, but damn, she's still a hottie, man. Thundera, come on, is your wife not around?
I mean, even if she was, yeah, no, she's still smoking hot. She's the rare exception to the Latinas fall apart at 30 rule, right there.
Yeah.
Miss Hayek.
And now she's definitely gotten older. She's certainly showing her age. You can see in this picture as well. But she's still a hottie. As far as everything I've seen, she seems like a pretty fun, nice lady too. Of course, I don't really know, but
do you guys all remember when you saw her for the first time in Desperado when she's walking down that street?
Oh yeah. Salma's badass, dude. But anyway, so this is one of the gender swaps, and I actually chose this article, 1, just so we could look at Salma Hayek, but 2, so we could see some of the set photos and stuff, because this thing is coming, whether you like it or not, right? And here's the toy, which will not sell at all.
It's coming, all right.
Yeah.
I just don't understand why they are doing the Eternals. Why?
Yeah, I don't either. But let's take a look what they've done here. So we got a Latino there. We have a Persian who should be a black guy for some reason. And we have a lady who looks Latino of some kind playing this blackish dude. Here's another a Persian guy being played by a black guy. Here's an Egyptian guy being played by a lady. Here we have a boy being played by a boyish girl. He's gray. I don't know what his race is. So at least they left this one alone. That one they didn't touch. The thing that kills me about the Eternals thing and all the gender swapping and race swapping, it's already all different kind of races. It's the point of it, right? I don't get it. Why do you race swap stuff that's already a different non-white race? Can you explain this to me, please?
They don't know.
Because no, that makes literally no sense.
No.
I can explain it. People of this generation are retarded.
It seems
There you
so.
go.
I mean, look at the roster on the bottom, right? It shows you all the different races, and that's kind of the point. They're kind of the father seed of all the different. Of course, that's not the direct part of the story, but that's uh, the idea, right? So it's just it's so dumb. It's so dumb. But anyway, we got like this scene here, and there's a couch, which is kind of nice. I like couches. Are those supposed to be sentinels? I don't know what they are. And then here's our cast. So let's take a look at our
Boy.
cast. And let's see here.
Angelina Jolie is looking like a cat person. I don't know what's happening to her face. That's a real shame.
Well, she's evil incarnate. And she cut her breast off and sacrificed them to Baphomet. So that's what happens to you. But if we look at this cast here now, who do we know here? Salma, we know can act. She's not the greatest actress in the world, but she's good enough. She'll get it done, right? Angelina Jolie, to be fair, she can act too, right? She can get it done. Anyone else recognizable at all? Anybody?
I think I recognize that fat Asian dude, but
yeah,
that might be
nondescript fat Asian.
racism, and it might be I just might be confusing him for another fat Asian dude.
Nah, he looks
No,
familiar
that's
to me too.
nondescript fat Asian man.
Yeah.
That's who that is.
Well, actually, I think he's pretty swole, to be honest with you. But I don't think
his face ain't. His face is fat.
Well,
Yeah,
Asians have very wide,
little-
wide, fat faces. That's true. But he's swole. If you look at him, he's in good shape. He's got that Asian muscle mass, which is all kind of tight and cute. It's cute. But whatever.
He's adorable. His name is Ma Dong Suk.
Is he Korean?
Yeah.
Yeah, they like the Koreans.
They do like Koreans for some reason. I don't know why they're the prescribed Asians lately, but they seem to be on a big Korean kick.
They're allowed. They're allowed.
Yeah.
Adrian is still pissed off about stuff. I don't know. Someone needs to give Adrian a hug, dude.
I do. We do. We're gonna pat him on the wiener later. He seems
go give him a wiener tug.
hug.
I'm gonna go give him a wiener pat.
Okay, you go take care of that. But this movie looks like a train wreck, dude. But I don't know.
Yeah, it's gonna be bad. It's going to be the first official flop of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I don't see it making anywhere near back its money.
Well, and the thing is, you need to have a cast that is highly highly charismatic, right? That's going to catch our attention. And I don't know, maybe they are, but they just don't look it. They just come off to me as high school drama club.
Well, I'm racist. That is a totally different Asian to the Asian I was thinking. So whoops.
Oh, that's
good job,
funny.
Booster.
Yeah, good job. Colvin Video, this is funny. Angelina Jolie was my choice to play Jubilee back in '95, but this cast looks like a Golden Girls reboot. That's a deep one, dude. That's a deep cuck. Gilgamesh is supposed to be like 6'5". Well, actually, if you look at all the things of Gilgamesh, he's like 12 foot or more.
Yeah, he's a giant.
Yeah, he's a giant. But half a god. Actually, one third a god. Which pissed him off because it wasn't enough for him to get into become immortal because only his mom was immortal, so he didn't have the immortalness enough, and that's why he went and kind of bashed his way into heavens, demanding immortality. Anyway, go read the Gilgamesh story. It's pretty cool. Anyway,
the Epic of Gilgamesh.
Yeah,
it's a bestseller.
Well, dude, it's actually a good read. It's a pretty fun story. I'm surprised that we haven't seen a straight up rendition on a movie. It would be a great movie. Yeah. Sex and violence.
The end's kind of a downer.
We could rewrite that a little bit. But anyway, I don't have any faith in this at all, dude. I don't know. And I hate the costumes. No. I hate the costumes. Someone said that in the chat, dude. I agree with you, man. I hate these things, man. Why do I hate them so much, though, Booster?
I think it's because they're just so uninspired. They're just like all flat costumes with just a little bit of coloring on them. There's nothing much else to them. Look at these designs below, right, that they're inspired of. Look at the patterns and belts and everything on them. Then what they're wearing is just flat. It's just like they put on a color suit.
It looks like it was made in America, in an American executive board room. It doesn't look like it was made by, galactic cosmic entities.
It doesn't
Right.
look like it was made by freaking Jack Kirby.
Yeah, it
No,
doesn't
it's
look
not colorful enough.
otherworldly,
Yeah.
is my point. Like, it
Yeah.
just looks...
You know what it looks like? It looks like it was made by people who don't shit.
Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah. Well, it's true because with the Asgard stuff we've seen in the Marvel universe, at least it's colorful and interesting stuff, right? But these dudes look very flat and plain. You're right, Booster. It's I don't know this with I don't know too good. And Dillard's here and he loves the costume. So Dillard, who you got to piss off and make run away today? You work on it there, brother. But anyway, let's move on. I just
Away with his bullying.
he is such a bully. Yeah, he is. But just
Yeah.
one more time.
Hell yeah! I just want
Yeah,
to.
yeah.
Oh,
And those are
buttholes
natural,
I
by
would
the way.
finger to get to motorboat those, huh?
Yeah, well, you can tell
Just
too.
once.
My wife taught me how to recognize fake tits. She gave me a crash
Mhm.
course. Yeah. So
Mhm.
anyway, moving on. Booster, your favorite lady.
What do we have? J.K. Rowling under fire for featuring transvestite serial killer in latest book.
Okay.
I don't know what it is, but the fact that the most insufferable people's in the world's favorite author, that they've all turned on her all of a sudden, it's just like for me.
Didn't
They all
have a
hate her now.
transvestite serial killer in The Silence of the Lambs?
Yes, there is. Yes, it's yes, clearly. They've turned on her several times, and she's a very noisy woman, and she's kind of dumb, which is shocking because she's a pretty good writer. Those books aren't bad at all. They're not anywhere in league with say Tolkien or something, but they're a fine young reader, dude. Nothing wrong with her books at all. But she's a silly one. But here's the thing. She is putting a transvestite, transgender, whatever, in a story. Isn't that what they've been screaming for?
Yeah, but not as the villain.
Why not? Don't you want to be accepted? Don't you want to be part of culture?
But
Shouldn't it
if you
just be
put them
natural
in a
and normal?
negative light, it's bad or something. I don't know. The arguments are bad. They're terrible.
They are pretty bad.
Chester,
yeah.
outside of a movie that is starring a person of color, name a time when a person of color in the mainstream movies, these superhero movies especially, has been the bad guy.
With a white hero.
Yeah.
Double point for that.
Darth Vader.
All I can think of is Killmonger, and all I can think of is Killmonger, and technically he was the hero of the story to me.
Well, and he had a black hero.
Yeah, exactly.
The same dude in Conan. Yeah, he was a bad guy.
Yeah, that was what, 35 years ago.
Yeah.
I said modern movies, modern films, modern books, anything mainstream. It's either a white, usually guy with a British accent, man bad, or it's diversity cast, and then they can have a bad guy who's not white and British for some reason. I don't know why they're always British, but they seem to be.
They
love
British.
Like that dog shit American Old Boy remake. For some reason, they got a South African actor. They're like, just be British.
Well, who's the black director dude who does has done 1,000 movies? They're supposed to be comedies, and he dresses like a old black lady.
Medea.
Medea. Those are
his name's.
She's definitely a villain. That's definitely villainous.
Yeah.
Tyler Perry.
Tyler Perry.
Yeah. Never seen one of his films actually. Grace Jones confirmed villain. Yeah, a couple times actually, dude. But he's talking about modern times. I know what he's saying. See, back in the day when we were supposed to be all racist, no one actually cared. You see. That reference to Silence of the Lambs with the transvestite being the serial killer. Good point. Good point. But the first one that jumped into my mind was Psycho.
Yeah.
So
also,
we've done this
just
before.
As another example
JK.
of how they like to whitewash the bad guys now. Look how much they lightened Thanos to make him look more and more like a white guy and less like a non-human. They continuously did throughout from the beginning when they first showed him all the way up until the very last movie. He just kept getting lighter. His skin tone kept getting lighter.
He is kind of lavender. Let's see
Purple
here.
Lives Matter.
Roger's mad at me. He says, Chester, don't you talk no sass about James Earl Jones. Don't make me come down there, sir. I do apologize. I do apologize. Uh, but I mean, this is really dumb. This has been done several times. There's nothing original about what she's doing in this with the character anyway. But these idiots they're idiots. I mean, don't you
Well,
have
I
to?
had to read a Facebook post about somebody complaining about The Boys because there was a scene in the new episode, spoilers, where there's a shapeshifter and a male is having him perform basically sex acts on him as a female. But as soon as they find out that the shapeshift is, once they show themselves as a male, they're disgusted and they don't want it anymore. And this is for some reason problematic to trans women.
Dude, that's perfectly normal.
Yeah. But if you don't suck the dick, you're a bigot.
Oh, I see.
It's
Well,
not
then
gay
I'm
if
a
it's with
bigot, I
yourself.
guess. Yeah. Oh well, I'll take it.
That was hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I actually think I have another article that covers exactly what you're talking about. Let's go see if we can find
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
Let's check it out.
Let's moving on here. Oh. I don't know how I feel about this booster. Go ahead.
Alrighty. Stargate producer Joseph Molazzi confirms progress being made on new TV series from co-creator Brad Wright! Exclamation mark. They're very excited.
It's Malozzi. You hack.
Molazzi.
All right, there we go. Now they've been threatening us with
Molazzi.
they've been threatening us with a new Stargate for a while now. The thing is, Stargate was a great fun show. The movie
Spaghetti
was good
Gate.
too.
I'm sorry.
But here's the thing: do we really want another Stargate in this environment? Do we want that? Because
Depending on who's making it and where it shows up. If it
Just-
shows up
No.
on Amazon, yeah, I want to see that because I don't think they'll make it woke. If it doesn't, then no, I don't want to see it.
They're gonna take the gate to a tranny planet.
Oh God!
Hello, we are all they thems. and
This is
have
where the
often
bad guys
moved.
put all of the trans people.
now he says what they're trying to do here is with this the new series is to answer all the questions that have been left open ended in the past. So it looks like they're kind of approaching this like maybe this is their last shot, and I'm okay with that. But
Well, the problem with it, the main issue with the new Stargate series is they have to have a good lead. And
yeah,
the last time they tried a new one, they tried to change the tone of it because it had to be more edgy. And it just flopped because the characters they sucked. They weren't good characters. That the actors weren't very good. You didn't have your Atlantis, which was pretty good. It wasn't as good as SG1 in my opinion.
no,
But it was fine, and it had Momoa on it, which carried did a lot of the carrying of the show because of his charisma, and now he's huge star. But SG1 had I can't remember his name now, but the guy who played MacGyver.
yeah, Richard Dean Anderson.
And yeah, Richard Dean Anderson. And he carried that show for years with his charisma. They tried to replace him as he got older with somebody else, and as much as I liked that actor, he just didn't carry it. So the show needs a strong lead.
It does.
It just does. For whatever reason, that particular universe needs that to happen.
And
pretty much every universe does, but this one really needs it. And without it, it shows the glaring holes in just the premise itself.
And another thing about that show is, I agree with you everything you just said. But that's also how you do a strong, independent, feminist woman with Samantha
Yes.
Carter, right? She
She's
was
fantastic.
independent, strong, but she was also a woman. She was feminine.
Yeah.
And she wasn't an asshole, but yet she
No.
was a strong woman, and determinedly, feminist as well. And we loved her. So I mean, you can do it proper. It can be done properly. But
Not
yeah,
to mention she was highly capable.
she was
as
very
well.
capable, yeah, and not overly so. She wasn't a Mary Sue. She knew her limitations. So it was a really good character, a good addition. She really helped to hold up the Anderson character, and then with
Yeah.
interesting side things like Teal, which is kind of like the Worf character, and of course the scientist there, Jones. Is that his name? It was a really tight, interesting cast, and everyone had their little thing going on. But Anderson absolutely tied that all together, beautifully so. Yeah.
So I don't hate the idea because I do miss watching Stargate when I was younger. I mean, I was in my 20s when it was on, but still, um, it was a great show, especially for its time. Like during that age, during that era, the late 90s to early 2000s ish, sci-fi on TV was really having a kind of a renaissance in a lot of ways after Star Trek kind of petered out. They did some new stuff and found some new areas where they could do some cool things, and that was one of them.
Mm.
Another obviously being Battlestar Galactica. That the second series of that did very well too. But I just think we could really use some good, just basic sci-fi again. And Stargate is that. It's very basic. It's not a complicated premise. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. They go through a gate and now they're on a new world with new stuff to do, and then other stuff happens around it, right?
Yeah,
But
easy.
it's just a simple premise, point A to point B, tell a story in this field. And that's what sci-fi, generally speaking, is when it's at its best, unless you're going for something more like a Star Wars with more of a space opera or something like that. But they weren't really doing that at the beginning. It was just supposed to be an episodic show,
Yeah.
a new gate, a new destination or whatever every week, and something new would happen. It's a great idea, simple premise, and I want to see it. I'd like to see it again, especially with modern tech. I think it could be pretty cool. I just hope they don't try and woke it up.
That's the worry.
Make it all
Yeah,
woke.
that's the worry. Well, like Stargate Universe didn't work because it had started to get into the era where everyone's angsty and grumpy and yelling all the time, which eventually led us to Man of Steel, right? With Zack Snyder's thinking. That was the beginning of it, and that's why it wasn't positive, because Stargate was overall very positive, and they went through some hard challenges and some pretty nasty things happened to them. I mean, if you think about it, it was a TV show, but they didn't play around psychologically. I particularly one where the colonel there had been caught by a ball, and he had him for how
Torture.
long and murdered him how many times? So much so that the sarcophagus
Multiple.
was becoming dangerous to him. No, hundreds of times. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's pretty dark shit.
And he
dude.
broke him. Literally broke him.
He did
Like
break
he
him.
actually broke the main character. See, that's one thing they've been trying to do for far too long now is how do you break a hero down? Well, that show did it, and it did it the best I've ever seen in television, honestly.
Well, it
made sense.
Yeah.
Everything about it made sense. Of course, he broke him after that long. It was great. It was fantastic. That whole arc right there is one of the best sci-fi stories ever told on television. No question.
It is really good. There was another one that I agree that was better. The Stargate one was better, but there was another one that was pretty well done. It was on the Next Generation, Picard.
Yeah.
They did it with him as well, and it was pretty good. But I'm happy because I love Stargate, but damn it, dude.
I'm worried for it.
Yeah,
Put
you
it
can't
that way.
trust anything, man.
It's just the zeitgeist where you just can't trust anything. They're gonna, infuse it with bullshit.
Yeah.
Adrian
that doesn't need to be done to it either, because it's already a fairly progressive show.
It is
so
progressive.
Just tell good stories, and you can do some of your politics if you need to. The problem is they just don't know how to tell good stories anymore, and they hide behind the fact that people are upset because they're propagandizing them. Where if they were telling good stories, people wouldn't care. It wouldn't bother them. They wouldn't even notice it. That's how you tell a good story with a political message. You don't notice the politics until you think about it later.
Well,
I was watching Deep Space Nine recently, the whole series, and it has a whole lot of progressive ideas in it.
Sure.
But it was a good story, and they didn't beat you over the head with it.
Yeah.
No, that's the thing. Show, don't tell, right? And Adrian is still having a bad day. He says colonizers. And with that, just so you know, because we lost our Black Panther, Shuri is going to be the new Black Panther, of course. So just imagine that little bratty bitch actress is going to be playing Black Panther and calling everybody colonizers. You do notice that T'Challa never said anything like that, right? Go ahead. What?
Yeah. I couldn't believe how many people liked that character. I thought she was insufferable.
I don't think anybody liked her. What are you talking about? I've never heard anyone say a single positive word about her.
A lot of people I know who have seen Black Panther like, oh my god, Shuri was so funny. She was my favorite.
Oh Jesus! Stop hanging. You're hanging out with the wrong people, Booster.
Yeah, hang out with you.
That's fair enough. Fair enough. Moving on. Oh, look. Oh
There
my
we go.
God. This is the
Hello,
one. This
sweetheart.
is the one here. Yeah, this is the one I was
Oh,
talking about.
based
Yeah.
queen. The Mandalorian star Queen Gina Carano. Carano?
Carano.
Carano.
Accused of
Yes.
transphobia for refusal to list pronouns in Twitter bio. Imagine what kind of bully you'd have to be, right? They've legit been commenting on all her shit, like begging her to list her fucking pronouns in her bio. Like, that is so fucking weird. It's like,
Yeah, but you're right, Booster. But my question is this: how do we go from not putting your pronouns in your Twitter bio to that being transphobic? I don't understand the
Uh,
Because
connection.
it's real simple. Because the establishment keeps catering to Twitter like it matters. So the prevailing culture is whoever is the most intolerant wins every time in all cultures always. And these people are horrendously intolerant bigots. And because Twitter allows them to continue to be that way, and because the culture keeps rewarding them for it, they just keep doing it. What you allow is what will continue. And people keep allowing it and keeps happening. It's real simple. It's because for some reason, and I know what this reason is, but it's too long of a conversation. The people put way too much value in social media, and especially Twitter, which is a tiny, tiny, tiny chunk of the market, even in America, is used in Twitter. The vast majority of people do not use Twitter. Something like 70% of all Twitter are bots or dead accounts. It's not as big of a deal as people think it is, but because the establishment keeps validating it, it keeps happening.
yeah.
You didn't give me any logic there whatsoever.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
Dick
no, he
says,
just told you how they think. That's
yeah, I guess.
the
Dick says, if you have to ask Chester, you're part of the problem. I guess I am. I'm transphobic then, I guess. Because, yeah, why would you put, I mean, you look at her, she's kind of thick and dykish, but I still
Yeah.
think she's probably female. Yeah,
Oh, she
I
could
kind of
kick my
assume that.
ass.
I don't think she
Mm.
could. Why do men always say that? Dude,
No, I'm saying I'd let her.
oh, you'd let her. Okay, all right. Yeah, that's fair enough. I'll take that. Yeah. Because I mean, you see these guys. Oh, she kicked my ass. Would she really? Because I'm guaranteeing you, I would brutalize this bitch. Right?
I mean, I would too, but it would definitely be a lot more fun than what
I'm
Chester's
gonna
talking about.
suplex you, bitch!
You don't know, Chester. That might be what she's into. I
It
mean,
might
she's
be.
a
Well,
I don't want to be mean.
big
She seems like a
Amazonian.
nice lady. I'm just kind of saying. You
she,
get.
she might go for your soft tissue. So
She's dude. Women got soft tissue too, dude.
Oh,
no, I
yes,
know.
they do.
But I mean,
Yeah, we call them titties.
I've snapped. Trust me, I've snapped up plenty of chicks. When you're working in the industry, particularly in strip clubs, the biggest problem are the women. It's not the men. It's the women because they're always, if they're not being crazy bitches, they're starting the shit. Telling you.
Yeah.
I've
Yeah.
snatched up plenty of female.
See, this is why Adam should have just fed Eve to the freaking serpent and been done with it. That's what he should have done.
Uh-huh.
It's fair enough. Fair enough. She went with Henry Cavill. Pretty sure that means she's actually is gay.
Oh,
just mean.
wow.
Yeah. No, I think she's a woman. She just really worked hard to be a fighter and athletic and stuff like that. I
What
think
are
she
you
seems like a nice
saying
lady.
about Henry Chadville? What are you saying?
Oh no, they're saying he's your
Don't you
kind of
talk
guy.
shit
That's
about
what
the
they're saying.
Chadville, man.
Yeah.
I will ban you forever.
Yeah.
I mean, if Henry
I have
Cavill's
to
gay,
admit,
then I'll join
the
him
last time,
because
the
Jesus,
last
he's
time I
gorgeous.
saw a picture of
He is
that guy, it
gorgeous,
looked
yeah.
like Freddie Mercury.
Yeah, no, he has that little look sometimes when he had that mustache on. You're right. Yeah. Adam was a simp. Unfortunately, that is true, Joshua. That is very true.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, first simp right
I
there.
don't want to
Adam.
disrespect Gina here. She seems like a nice lady, and she's fighting the good fight. So good on her for that. And in her field, she actually seems to be quite capable. As far as she's an MMA fighter, right?
Oh yeah, she's one of the best.
She could have been a great Wonder Woman. She was the person I wanted to be Wonder Woman before Gal Gadot got the part. But Gal Gadot's
No.
doing a great job. But I would like to see her as Wonder Woman.
No, she doesn't have. Yeah, Wonder Woman has to be attractive. This woman could be a Titana. I think she'd be fine as that.
Oh, Gina's gorgeous, Chester. You're out of your mind.
She's not gorgeous. What are you talking
She is
about?
gorgeous.
She's not gorgeous
These
at
are
all.
really bad pictures of her. She is
all right.
absolutely beautiful.
All right. Well, fine. Let me see. I'll check it. All right.
Yeah, Google it and then Wonder Woman. Some people have done like things of it.
I'm working on it. Calm down. I got to put the sexy tag after it. It needs an adjective.
Yes.
Sexy.
All right, let me see here. All right, she's fit. She's got breasts, I guess, if that's all you guys are looking at. Yeah, she'd be around. I mean, I've certainly enjoyed a couple of women with this kind of tight, hard, athletic body. They can be fun, but
Mhm.
I don't find it
Mhm.
very attractive, though. I like more of a.
She's 7.5.
Okay, I'll give you that.
I'd say she's closer to an 8, but I like
give you that.
Latina's too
Yeah.
much.
Is
It's a kryptonite.
But I
Mhm,
mean,
mhm.
none of this really matters. She is she's fighting the good fight, and good on you. Good on you for that. But it is kind of a ridiculous thing. It just doesn't make any sense. How I mean, you don't put pronouns in your Twitter, therefore you're transphobic. So what if your pronouns are not trans? What if your pronouns are something else? Are you therefore now also transphobic because you're not declaring yourself to be a trans? I mean, that's the only logic I can take out of it. I mean, is that the concept they're putting out? Everyone's trans, or you're the enemy. Is that the deal?
And I don't know if this article went into it, but she actually did put something in her bio, but it was boop/bop/beep. So she's going for like robot pronouns or something.
Yeah. Well, she doesn't like this woke culture shit. She didn't like it. She seems to be quite traditional, and she's dating, so she wants to get married and have herself a family. Clearly, so she's just kind of a traditional conservative lady, it seems. And what's wrong with that? She's not Asian enough for Chester. There you go, Adrian. You found it. There it is.
That's
It
yeah.
is. I
She's
don't.
not built like an Asian. She's
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 thick.
got a nice.
She's
She's got a big
muscular.
frame on her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like I like the wispy, very feminine shape. I'm not into these kind of bulky ladies. I'm not into that. Some people are. You know,
You
to each his
monster.
own. To each his
I
own.
like to wrestle. That's all I'm saying. I like to wrestle.
Yeah, I understand that too. But I like a woman that I can kind of stretch out and bend her back. Anyway, let's not do that. Let's see. Adrian says Cavill is going to be Sherlock Holmes. No, that's not. That's a disgusting rumor. All right, moving on.
Not happening ever.
Ever. Booster.
I mean, he should be.
So we're reporting on rumors. Joaquin Phoenix offered big money to reprise role for Joker sequels. Where is this rumor coming from?
I could have made the rumor myself. The thing is,
he'll be making at least $20 million for the sequel, guaranteed.
I think, and he should, because it was a
Yeah.
really fun movie, and he's the only reason why it really worked.
Fun.
Because there were many little problems in that movie that. What did you say?
You said it was a really fun movie.
Fun.
That's not one of the words I used for it, you sociopath.
Say it again. What? I missed it.
You referred to it as a fun movie, Chester.
Yeah,
It was a fun movie.
Did you have a blast watching Silence of the Lambs, dude? What's going on?
I did, yeah.
Taxi Driver was a really fun movie.
For Chester, it goes Sandlot, A League of Their Own, Joker, all just fun movies, just real fun times at the theater.
Like, man, I had a real hoot and a hollow watching freaking Schindler's List.
Well, that is
when
a
they
bit of
get
a dour.
naked and start running around in circles, like I'm just slapping my knee, having
Yeah.
a jolly old time.
That is
Fucking hell.
That's a bit dour. That one is. But, yeah, no, Joker was good. It was a fun movie. I enjoyed it. But the thing that's kind of dumb about this article, of course, they're going to pay him more money. This was a mega blockbuster. But he said from the beginning. I mean, after the thing was done, even before we saw, he wants to do more, which for him is weird because he doesn't do that. He's an artiste, you see. I think Joaquin Phoenix is probably one of the most annoying humans you'd ever meet, right? You want to be his friend. But he said way back that, I want to do more of this. So we already knew he was coming back. So this article is kind of nonsense, but people don't pay attention. Who am I going to yell at today? Who am I going to yell at today? Who did this? Oh, this is Augustine working with Trent over there.
Augustine.
And I think they should pay him basically whatever he asks for.
Yeah.
He carried that movie. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
I think it's a good movie, but
It
he
is a
made
good
it a
movie.
great movie because
He
he's
did.
just such a good actor. He's one of the best actors alive. He has been for a long time, and it's time he got paid for it. I think. I
Yeah.
think that's perfectly reasonable. I've loved him since Gladiator. I thought he was fantastic as Commodus, terrifying and also disgusting. Which
Yeah,
is
no,
exactly what he was
he
trying to
was.
be.
He was, yeah.
And he did a
And
hell of a Johnny Cash.
He
Yeah.
did, dude. He really did. Yeah.
he deserves it. I even if I disagree with his politics, which obviously I do pretty much everybody in Hollywood, his talent is real and it always has been. So I have no problem with him getting paid. Pay the man. Pay him whatever he wants.
Pay the man. That's right. Yeah, no, I'd say this movie was a 6 and he made it an 8.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds fair.
But it's a good watch. If you haven't seen the Joker, go check it out. It's certainly worth it. It's going to rivet
It's a lot of fun.
It is a lot of fun.
It's just a blast.
Well, that's just it. It wasn't dreary. It wasn't a drudge. It's a pretty long movie, but it didn't feel it, and therefore you're being entertained. You're enjoying yourself, right?
It's engrossing. I wouldn't call it fun.
Okay, all right. You guys are just different. All right, moving on. But I just wanted to put that up there because I think it's like, of course, obviously. All right. Here we go. Now, just give me a second, Booster. This is my kind of chain together story today. Now, this is a succession of stories involving Flash, a la the Justice League, right? So we have rumor cyborg actor Ray Fisher wants changes made to the script for the Flash. Now, last time he wasn't listened to. This young unknown actor said, "I want changes," and they're like, "Okay, young guy," and then he proclaimed racism because they didn't do what the young black man wanted. But he wants it now. So it's like, is he trying to force the situation? Is this guy that much of a dick? I believe he is. And of course, it continues over here with Gal Gadot is in talks to return as Wonder Woman in the Flash. So the Flash movie seems to be set to go. And then, of course, here we have another story that says Flash will reboot the DCEU, may lead to the rebirth of the Justice League. Now, here's my question. I don't care about any one of those articles, but them as a whole. First of all, how is it the Flash actor, Ezra Miller, our mascot, who chokeslammed a woman down on the ground, is being allowed to be the centerpiece and the return of the DC universe, whereas Johnny Depp has been proven completely innocent, and he's still out, and Amber Heard is still in. How is this?
Because
How is this?
Ezra Miller is a based king.
He's not based at all. What are you talking about?
He's super based. He fellatios goats. He's every single gender, and he chokeslams women. That is based, Chester.
That's the opposite of based.
What
It is the opposite of based.
He's like a magical dick girl.
Oh,
If they, I
What
may
the hell
watch
is
the
a magical
Flash movie
dick girl?
if they rename the character Captain Douchehammer.
yeah, they really need to recast the Flash entirely. He's not Flash. Even the character in the Justice League wasn't the Flash. Like, he's a just total douchebag.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can
Yes,
hear you, dude. We're just
Okay, I'm
ignoring
making
you.
sure.
Yeah, that's all right. Got it.
Hey!
No, he's just completely unlikable. The character is. Ezra is too as a human being, but that's another topic for another day. He's an actor; he should be able to overcome that. And he just didn't at all. And I have seen every criticism probably that you could make of those movies, of the Justice League movies, or movie, and I have not seen a single person that isn't a complete psychopath say they liked Ezra as the Flash.
Yeah. Well,
no one liked it.
No, and he was supposed to be the comedic relief, but it's in a movie that doesn't want any comedy, so I don't get it. But that's what he was.
He's not a
supposed to be.
good comedic relief actor. He's a pretty good serious actor. Let him be that.
Colt Film Video says Ezra Miller is a trash actor. I actually disagree with that. Like, as much as we like just shit on Ezra Miller for fun, right? Because he's just a complete weirdo. He's actually really great in this movie called We Need to Talk About Kevin. If you haven't seen that,
Yeah.
No, I think he's a good
played
actor. I
a good
agree.
Sociopath.
Yeah.
Because he is a fucking sociopath.
Yeah, it works out.
Yeah. Poor Refusal. I am feeling your pain, brother. He says, I just got here, and the first thing I hear is magical dick girl. Booster never stop rocking. I'm still confused by that one. I don't understand what that even means. That doesn't make sense. Those words don't go together. Well, you don't. You're not picking up the handoffs.
Blame the Japanese. I blame Japan for this.
Oh no, you can't blame Japan for that.
No, I'm blaming Japan.
That's not
Japan is the one who has
fault.
popularized dick girls.
No
That's a
way. No way. Now I'm
they're
assuming.
the reason that magical dick girls are best.
Now I'm assuming a dick girl is referencing a transgender or something like that, right? I'm assuming.
It's a girl with a dick. That's
so
how
transgender.
is this complex to you?
Well, no, it's not. But I mean, how you blame Japan for transgenders? That's definitely a Western thing.
Definitely Japan.
Oh,
100% anime and hentai.
You do not watch enough hentai.
Yeah.
I guess not. Well, we do have new halves. They call them new halves here in Japan, but they're very small population. They're very, very small.
I'm very in touch with Japanese culture for a man who's been living there for a very long time.
Well, because
in fairness, it's pretty much all Tokyo.
It's all Kabukicho. Yeah, they're up in Tokyo, Kabukicho, where all the gays are. That's Japan, San Francisco.
That's where we keep the gays.
That's just where we keep
That's where
them.
we
over
keep
there
them. Yeah.
As soon as the son reveals to be gay, it's just like, all right, you're going to Tokyo. Get out of here.
Here's your train ticket. Get out of here.
Yeah. Get out.
We need to contain you people.
Now, Adrian is trying to correct me. Adrian's still in a mood. He says, Chester, no.
Angry.
It's often a girl with a dick and a vagina. All right, thank you.
And he says,
So,
and
hermaphrodite?
Adrian, yeah, it is Colin Kaepernick. But Adrian is a full weep, and he agrees it is Japan's fault fully.
It's true.
I didn't know that.
They get this one.
So it's all the Nips' fault. That's terrible.
Oh, Jesus. All right, fine. I'm going to tell him. I'm telling my wife, Slick.
Yeah, go tell your wife about the magical dick girls. Let's see how they
I will.
I love the Nips. I love the Nips. You know what
Good
I mean?
Lord.
I do too, especially when they're perky. But anyway, Adrian says, I knew what a dick girl was at 12. Well, Adrian, good for you, you grumpy bastard.
You should be telling it to your therapist, not us, bro.
That's right, dude. What the hell?
Yeah.
But anyway.
Off at dick girls for a minute.
Booster. Jesus.
Booster never gets off the dick girls.
Ciao.
Ciao. All right.
I just really don't like the idea that they're now going to rush into Flashpoint. We already rushed the death of Superman and made it just the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen in film.
Yeah.
Now they're going to rush Flashpoint and do the same. And DC, why? Why do they let the people who run their live action films division near it instead of having their animated films people come and run the live action stuff? Because they kill it. They kill it like every time.
They do. Yeah. Well, here's the thing though. The one thing of these three articles, the one that caught me the most was this one, and I got a question because there was a Picard, absolute shit series that came out recently, had a very memorable quote that everyone keeps throwing back in their face because it's so un-Star Trek, and it was fucking hubris.
Yeah. Fucking hubris.
Yes, sheer fucking hubris. And it's like this Ray Fisher kid, he's sheer fucking hubris, dude. Who the hell are you, dude? Back up, boy. Back up. And this is the problem.
Calm down.
A lot of these young people need someone just to tell them to just back up. You back up. You know your place. They don't know their place, dude. Right? You have to earn shit. You don't get stuff for free. You have to earn it. And that irritates me more about these SJWs than anything else. They don't earn anything. They just expect it to be given to them. And I guess that's why we call them entitled. But this guy, This freaking guy, he wasn't even my radar. But now I'm getting a second thing in a row. You better listen to me. Who are you, dude? Are you a writer? You're barely even known. Only reason I know your name is because you're an asshole. I don't know, dude. What is up with this? I mean, someone needs to literally slap this kid into place.
He's
Well,
just someone who's loud on Twitter.
This is kind of what happens when you don't have the one thing I think that the MCU, one of the many things that they did right is there was a hierarchy among the talent. I mean, every one of them will admit that there was, and they all pretty much followed Robert Downey Jr.'s lead. And because they did, he made sure they got fat fucking paid, every one of them. There's none of that camaraderie, that unity, that hierarchy in the DCEU stuff because they threw it together so haphazardly. And it shows with stuff like this because I don't think you would definitely not have been having these problems with the MCU in its infancy, which this still is because they keep messing it up.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the thing
this guy definitely feels like he's being, he's acting like he's Idris Elba.
Well, he's acting like he's important, in which he isn't. That's right. But the thing with the Marvel Universe is the fact that there was love everywhere. Kevin Feige loves Marvel Comics. He loves them. And you can see it and you can feel it. He is a liberal. He is a progressive, but he loves comics. And you can see that. Robert Downey Jr., from all accounts, is a papa bear. He constantly takes care of all the people on set. He's that dude. He sounds like he's actually a really nice guy who looks out for his actors. So even though he can be a bit of a dick when it comes to him giving opinion, which we don't need, but he does sound like he's really good with that. He looks after the actors and stuff, and that's nice.
Except for Terrence Howard.
Well, fuck Terrence Howard. I mean, I agree.
Oh shit!
Fuck Terrence Howard, 2020.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, no, you're right there, Adrian. Marvel animation sucks. I don't why it can be okay, but DC kicks its ass constantly, dude.
The line in Iron Man that always makes me laugh is when Terrence Howard looks back at one of those suits and says, "One day." Not for you, buddy. Not for you.
Not quite. Not quite.
Well, I like the No, I'm not. Yeah, fuck Terrence Howard. Just leave it at that. All right. So, anyway, but
can I ask why they decided that this was the picture they were going with there, where it looks like Wonder Woman's grabbing Flash's dick? Because it looks like
it does look like
that.
that.
Or he's creeping.
Trying to grind up on him, and he's just like, "What are you doing, man? I don't know you."
She's reaching back and twisting his dick and go, "Run, boy, now! See what happens."
Right. Well, the thing is, if you look at each one of these articles, it's talking about the Flash, and so I think Adrian said it in the chat. Why would Cyborg be in a Flash movie? Why would Wonder Woman be in a Flash movie? Why would any of them be in a Flash movie? Now, if you talk about a cameo at the end where they come together and you use some post-credit scene to set up the next Justice League movie, okay, fine. But they're not in the movie. That's a post-credit scene, right? So why in the world would Wonder Woman have anything to do with a Flash story at all?
And they really need to change that suit. That suit sucks so much.
Yeah, the Flash suit is really bad. I don't mind Wonder Woman's, though.
Scratches all
he
over
looks kind of like Iron Man.
That's probably what they were going for.
It's like a roller derby suit. I don't know, what is it?
Yeah, it does. It looks like a roller derby suit.
Well, Ezra doesn't have the frame to pull off that suit.
Well, like we all know, it was a bad casting. Retarded.
Very bad.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, no, it because we know who the Flash is, and we want what we want. Either Barry Allen or we want Wally West. And they're extremely different characters, but we want one or the other, right? He's neither. For us, but now for the public going, movie going audience, they don't know anything about the Flash. So
he's more annoying than Bart. That's how annoying he is.
He is a kind of an annoying comedic character that in a non-comedic movie, and it doesn't work, unfortunately. He was one of the weaker points. That's true. But I don't know about the guy because I don't want to. I'm with Booster. I don't want to hate on Ezra Miller. He actually is a pretty good actor.
He's the Jar Jar Binks of the DCU.
In a way, yeah. Yeah,
I think the
you're right.
DCU's the Jar Jar Binks. The DCU
It's just
Yeah, well, yeah.
oh,
just should not be.
It should not
it's a
be.
very dark, serious movie.
You shall not pass. All right. Well, that's what I have for today. So let me come back over the other side here and be at peace. All right. Well, what'd you guys think about that run? A lot of stuff. A lot of
That
stuff.
was an ordeal.
It was an ordeal. It was,
Yeah.
and Booster had to corrupt things with magic and girls and penis eyes. So,
When have I ever done that? You can't name one.
you do quite often, actually. I don't know why you keep going back to the homosexuality. I told you about that.
No idea what you're on about.
It's addictive for him, at least something.
It's addictive. Hey.
You get it?
Yeah. GOP Gamer says Team Wally. Now, here's a question: who do you prefer? Do you prefer Barry Allen or Wally West? Which is your favorite Flash?
Wally West is my Flash.
Yeah, my kids would say that too. Yeah.
There's only one Flash, and that's Barry Allen. The rest of them are all trying to be him.
Well, but the thing is, Barry Allen and Wally West, they're not similar at all. They're very different people. They're extremely different characters, which I give credit to DC for doing that, right? Making them so radically different. But my kids are with Booster. They grew up with the Wally West character and the animated stuff. And his goofy, joking antics. You know, they're Wally West guys. Me, I'm older, and I grew up with Barry Allen, and I prefer Barry Allen. But they're radically different. I mean, because Barry Allen is kind of, he's a scientist. He looks at things that way, where Wally West is just kind of falls into success, seemingly. I don't know.
Yeah.
I the other night, when Booster and I were talking to one of our friends, he was going on about how he thinks Hal Jordan and Barry Allen aren't very good characters. And eventually he kept going on and on and on, and he said something to the effect of, you need a character that's very relatable, that's kind of boring in a lot of ways, but also can go from there. And I said, yeah, that's exactly what Barry Allen and Hal Jordan are. That's why they're such great characters.
That's right.
Such great leads. Because they're simple. They're not complicated. Just somebody we're talking to. But it's just that's to me, that's why they're the better characters. Now you can say, Wally has better arcs or whatever. He has, he's a better character in a lot of ways. But as a lead for a franchise or for a book or whatever, you want them to be malleable. You want people, a lot of people, especially something with broad appeal like comic books used to have, a lot of people to be able to look at that character and relate to him. You don't want them to be very specified unless you're going for that specific audience. And Barry Allen's great at that because he was a family man, and Hal Jordan's great at that because he was basically the roguish character.
And he's
I think that's one of the reasons why those characters resonate so much generationally compared to Wally and whatnot. Now that might change in the future, especially since Wally's really popular with people under 30, it appears to be. But we'll see which one wins out. I think it'll probably still be Barry, though. He's a more timeless character.
I agree 100%.
This is where I totally disagree with people. I think that one of the biggest trappings that writers have is that a character needs to be relatable. I don't think I just feel like that's a really bad trapping. I feel like a character should be fascinating first before they're relatable, right? A character that is like supposedly malleable and is like the blank slate character that you try to make everyone relatable to, I feel you make them relatable to no one and just plain.
Well, by that logic, you like Barry Allen better.
What's that?
By that logic, you like Barry Allen better.
No, I like Wally.
Well, you're wrong. You just said the opposite. Wally West is the generic, and that's what he is.
He's like ha, is he?
Yeah, he is, dude.
No, because here's my favorite word that the left's ruined. The nuance is you have to have a character who is malleable but also is fascinating. That's how you make a great character. Yes. Whether that be through their story arc or just their personality. If it's an actor, it's their charisma. A great example, like we just talked about, is Joaquin Phoenix's Joker. The character himself isn't really necessarily that interesting. He's just a weird guy with mental illness and an abusive mother. Okay. But Joaquin's acting and his charisma makes it far more enticing. When you're creating a character for like a comic book, a superhero, whatever, it's a very similar idea. Basic stuff around him that everybody can kind of understand. That's what I mean by malleable. He's not super fantastical. You can do that, and that works in certain universes, but I think for a main character of a long form series, especially when you're bringing to market, they have to be as relatable as possible.
Mm.
And what I mean by that, I don't mean necessarily that you necessarily identify with them like SJWs mean. I just mean that they're simple, they're a simple individual, and you can put them in different places and make things less simple for them. That's where the drama comes in.
Mm.
So another great example is Peter Parker. He's a simple guy. He's a hard worker. He's very, very smart. He lives with his aunt. He's had some tragedy in his life after, with everything that happened with his uncle and and his superpowers and all that. But that was extraordinary stuff that happened to a simple person that made him more extraordinary.
Yeah,
That's why I like Barry Allen more than Wally, because Wally went from being just a guy to basically being a god of speed, and it was ridiculous.
Yeah, and you're right. There are a few characters that fall into that trope of the every guy, right? The everyday guy.
Yeah.
But most don't, though. Most of your superhero
Correct.
characters or whatever IP character is not relatable at all. You don't relate to Batman or Superman or Wolverine. You don't relate to them at all.
Correct.
Right.
That's why they're hard to write stories for. Well, not Batman so much, but Superman definitely, because he's so superior to everything else.
Yeah, he is.
Well, I don't know. I, as a writer, I would say that most of this stuff you guys have been saying is hyperbole.
Of course it is.
The truth
what do you
is-
think? Where do you think you are, Slick? Jesus.
The truth is, any character can become compelling, even the most mundane of men, if you write them correctly and you give them nuance and texture.
Okay, I challenge you to write a story about Booster. I challenge you. Put your mouth
Booster
where your
be
money
easy.
is, or that's the opposite. I think.
He's an easy character.
No, please don't put your mouth where your money is. I do not need that visual.
Yeah, that's true.
But what I'm saying is, like anyone, you're talking like around in circles about certain things, and what makes a good character. A good character is somebody who lives life and then he breathes it, or she. The Death of a Salesman. I don't know if you've ever seen it. It's a very sad story.
It is, yeah.
But the main character, and if you step back and look, it's just boring. But what happens in that story is compelling.
It is, yeah.
All right?
It is, yeah.
So that's
it's very relatable as far as that part of the conversation.
This is a misinterpretation of what I'm saying. I'm not saying these characters aren't good characters. Wally is a good character. I'm saying when you're talking about a generational the thing that gets in people's heads, Barry does that better. And he does it to the general public better because he's a better character for that. Doesn't mean that other characters aren't, like Jay Garrick's a good character too, but he doesn't have that, whatever that is, that magic combination that seeps into the psyche of people. Superman has that, obviously. Batman has it. Spider-Man has it.
I get it. But the thing is, they've had time. With time, the truth will out. They'll become classic with time. And whether Wally or Barry are the definitive, Flash, or the same with Hal and the different iterations of Lantern. If we go another 50 years in the future, there may be a definitive one, but there are going to be adherents to the one that they quote unquote relate to, like you were talking about. And so somebody like Booster is relating to, I think it's because Booster, he's jovial and he likes the wisecracking stuff. I think that's why so many people like Spider-Man, the same thing. But Spider-Man, underneath all that, the wisecracking stuff with his facade that he uses as almost a weapon against his villains, is this pathos, this deep, hurt and loss. And the same thing with Batman. And people relate to that, although they may not relate to, swinging around.
Well, I think another important point, Slick, is that Booster is squishy and gay, and therefore very huggable.
Okay.
Yes.
There you go. Yes. But GOP says, can you make that sound again, Chester, the goofy laugh? It's just Krusty the Clown, dude. But this right here, I thought we need an intervention here, folks. Adrian says Booster's not a writer, so he wouldn't understand. Adrian?
Is it a shot at me, Adrian?
No, he's angry today. He's angry.
don't you go take a Xanax and a nap?
He does need
Go
a Xanax.
downstairs, have a Coke and a smile, please.
Yes. We love you. We love you. All right, guys. I need to go
Speaking
to
of a
work.
Coke,
Oh, I haven't had one of those in a while. But I need to get to work. I got a lot of stuff to do, of course. So we're coming to the end of the show. It was fun though. Thank you guys for coming in. Do keep in mind that tomorrow, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we're continuing with our role playing game we're doing, the Tyranny of Dragons. We're having a lot of fun with that. If you want to come check that out. And then of course the day after we have I'm on Pontificators over on RT Bear Show. And then of course Thursday at 10 p.m. We are doing Fatal on the Drone Recorder Ultimate Edition, so definitely be part of all of that. Let's see.
That looks pretty crazy from what I've seen.
It's beautiful art, dude. It's gorgeous. Gorgeous. But anyway, let's let each of them kind of give their closing comments here. And today, he's deserved it. Thundera needs to namaste us. He needs to. So, Booster, go ahead.
Huh? People know who I am, baby.
That's fair. You are the popular one. You are. We're all just trying to catch up, Booster.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He's the Barry Allen
You're
of
the
this
special boy. You're the special boy.
I'll be
He
Barry
is.
Allen. I don't mind. I like Barry.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah. Okay, Slick. Well, there you go.
Well, as I've been saying for the last few days, we are coming up to the very end of the primary story. Thus, I'll be compiling a print file, and my book, Little Girl Lethal, will very soon be put into print. So look forward to that. If you want to get a hold of me on Twitter, you can find me at SlickJimmyLove, and occasionally I've been doing videos at Slick Jimmy Speaks on YouTube. Not recently though, because of certain events. But yeah, there you go. Thanks for having me on.
Sweet. All right. Well, it's come to the end of the show, guys, and it's been a lot of fun. But we're going to let our very wise Thundero, the man of lightning himself, is going to
Great wisdom.
Great wisdom. He's got to fix
Deep
it.
like a well.
He's got to end it.
That's right.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, it's good to be doing streams again. We kind of took really a month off, really. I mean, we did a couple here or there, but we're gonna be back doing them. It's good to do so. It looks like the world's starting to get a little bit less crazy, except for California, which is on fire.
Literally.
That's what happens when you legalize pedophilia. Other than that, I hope everyone's having a great day, has a great rest of their night if it's night where you're at. Tomorrow is another day, and one thing that will definitely happen, even if it's sometimes hard to see, the sun will definitely rise tomorrow. Guaranteed. It's not going anywhere.
Namaste. Very nice. All right.
Nom 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 nasty.
Oh God. Later.
Aloha.